I want to welcome all of you to the opening of our newest city park, Sankofa Park. We are joined by a number of people who will speak to you after me. Of course, Senator Valesky, Councilor Bay, and Commissioner Sims. We are also joined by Councilor Doherty, who is the outgoing city councilor in charge of the Parks Committee. We are joined by County Legislator Monica Williams, Rich Bachowski, and Richard Breland, who's a neighbor here. I want to call your attention, if you will, to a couple of years ago and what this space looked like. And its highest and best use at that time was as a dusty parking lot. And we had a number of neighbors and elected officials who thought that we could have a better use for that space. I'm going to wait for the ambulance to pass by. It took me 5 years to figure out to do that, but I've learned. So we had a number of neighbors and elected officials who had a vision for this space and saw what it could be. A real gathering space for the community to come and talk that frankly was happening already, but they thought could be done in a much more conducive environment, an environment that they deserved. And so these community neighbors and officials approached the city of Syracuse and Senator Valesky and asked for help with designing this and of course funding it and putting this into place. So today what you see is a gorgeous green space with new space for sitting and talking and performing and walking, and a space that will allow our neighbors to come together, to share their stories, and to be part of our city and what we have expected, and to have gorgeous parks and gorgeous green spaces where neighbors can come together. I want to thank Senator Valesky for his help in making this park a reality. And I also want to thank Councilor Bay for continuing to be an advocate to make sure that this park happened. As anybody knows who goes through this kind of process, there are lots of obstacles that get thrown in somebody's way. And whether those obstacles are large or small, the reason that people are able to get through them is through the leadership and people who stay focused on the vision. And Councilor Bay has been focused on this vision today. And I think it was not just Councilor Bay, but it was others as well, because when I got up this morning, it was pouring rain, and I thought, boy, this is not going to be an auspicious venue to have when it's pouring rain. But you see that the rain stopped, and the sun came out, and our neighbors came out to once again welcome us to this park for this ribbon cutting. So with that, it is my pleasure to welcome to the podium Senator Valesky, and again, without his help, today's event would not have been possible. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mayor, for the introduction and for your outstanding leadership here in the city of Syracuse. It's a great day when you can cut a ribbon on a new park, especially in the middle of July. This is a project that took quite a while to come together. And as Mayor Miner indicated, there have been many local officials, but most importantly, I think, neighbors and other community leaders who have come together over the last couple of years and said, how can we turn this space into that dusty parking lot sitting right next to a library that gets used an awful lot, as it should, and how can we continue the progress, the forward progress here on the south side of the city of Syracuse. And the park that we opened today, Sankofa Park, is the result of those community efforts and community collaboration. The one individual who has moved on to another role that I do want to mention, who played a key role in this, is of course former Commissioner of Syracuse Parks, Baya Mohammed, who did an outstanding job in his tenure, not only on this project, but his management of the park system here in the city of Syracuse. So again, this is all about bringing people together. We were able to identify some state capital resources to help put this project together, but clearly the leadership of Mayor Miner, then Commissioner Mohammed, Commissioner Sims, who you'll hear from in a few moments, Councilors Bay and Doherty, and all of the neighbors here on the south side coming together saying, we have a stake in our community can be better, it's going to be better, and projects like this certainly continue the progress that we've been making. With that, I want to call up Councilor Bay, who again has done such a tremendous job in representing his constituents. Councilor?
Thank you. This very exciting time, certainly for the many of us who've walked past this lot to witness what you heard the mayor and Senator Valesky describe. To see a park as beautiful as this one, as a result of a lot of hard work, and I'll echo, the community collaboration, government, and one of our other partners that I'll mention in a minute played a major part in not only developing the vision for the park, but even the struggle and the battle over determining a name. I want to give special thanks, of course, to Senator Valesky for investing, quite frankly, in an area that has starved for a long time. I want to give a special thanks to the mayor and her administration because you may or may not notice, it was actually a pretty seamless process once we got started. And a lot of credit goes to her team for making sure that they kept us on schedule as well, and that we brought this thing into fruition. Special thanks goes to the Southside Community Coalition, who are major contributors to Syracuse University's Southside Initiative, Southeast Gateway, New Africa Project, and a host of other businesses along the corridor who took part in the discussion to rebrand this neighborhood with the hopes of revitalizing it and bringing it back to what it was many, many years ago. The name Sankofa comes from the Akan language in Ghana, which means that there's nothing wrong with looking back for what you've forgotten. And what it is, it's not only a statement that I think applies to everybody, regardless of where you come from, to remember where you come from, but the community thought it would be good to pay tribute to the old 15th Ward, which a lot of the residents who occupy the South Side now, and certainly their parents, more appropriately, lived in the 15th Ward prior to urban renewal. This is where we've kind of landed. My mother used to live on Sealy Street over there, where Hutchins is now. And so it was to pay tribute to a time where in the African American community, you had a lot of entrepreneurship, you had a lot of community camaraderie, and it's our hopes that we could reestablish that here today. So again, thanks to all the participating partners, and a special thanks again to Commissioner Muhammad, former Commissioner Muhammad, and our existing Commissioner, Lazara Sims, who, without any of these people, believe me, none of this would happen. Let me state one more thing. I want to give thanks to the Brelands for they were very compromising. We had a lot of discussion to assure that quality of life is maintained, and the mayor has been in support of that effort along with the police chief, and so we told them we would assure that would happen, and it's our intent to make sure that happens, so thanks to them as well. I'm not sure if it's my job to. All right. So I have the responsibility of introducing the very tall guy standing to my left, Commissioner Lazara Sims. Thank you.
Now, on behalf of the Parks and Rec, I want to say thank you for allowing us to be a part of this. This is a great time for the South Side of Syracuse. Being a kid from the South Side of Syracuse and actually living down the street from here on Mark Ave, to walk through this, to see how it was in the past, to see how it went recently, and to see how its future is going to be, is a great moment. Our South Side needed this South Side community, the mayor, Senator Baya, the community programs, and the people involved in the community has spearheaded this, and I'm coming in on the tail end from what ex-Commissioner Baya has done, and I'm appreciative to be a part of what Mayor Minor has set forth. I do want to acknowledge my team, Lynn Lewis, who's been tirelessly working on this. Our skills trades department, headed by Kevin Henry, has done a tireless job maintaining this and getting it up and running for the people of the South Side of Syracuse. This, like I said, this is not much to say, but this is a great moment for Syracuse itself, but also for South Side, which has a rich history. And now to see this open and see the development, and it starts a chain reaction in the process that will build and carry through each side of town. So this is a moment that we all should cherish in, and we all should relay in, because it's great for the city of Syracuse in a whole. And I thank you for allowing me to be a part of this occasion.
There you go.
This validates the compromise.
Yes. Do the countdown. 3, 2, 1.